Welcome back. Welcome back to another Minnesota Left-Handers podcast. A final tune-up before both tours enter this year's second major. That's exciting. That's something to look forward. In Worcestershire, New York, at Oak Hill, and a hodgepodge of other golf nonsense is coming your way. We got a lot. I got about 15 tabs open here with all the interesting stuff that we got going on this week in golf. As much as the word interesting may be kind of a little bit too much of a word to use because we're coming into this week's event, which is a non-designated event, but with the designated event that was last week and how uneventful that was, and Jason Day and blah. Yeah, we'll get onto it. But first, Nate, do your thing. Tell us a little bit more.
Well, I think I'd like to start by saying, Mr. Brett Relander, thank you for having me. It's nice to be here with you this evening. We're shaking things up a little bit. This is going to be released on Tuesday as opposed to our usual Thursday morning. So the stuff that we bring you, hopefully you get ready ahead of time for the upcoming events today. A quick recap of like you said, the Wells Fargo, a little bit of intro, a little bit of everything you need to know for the AT&T Byron Nelson, LIV. They're out in Tulsa, and then other golf nonsensical things. What was it? The Wells Fargo. The Wells Fargo Championship, won by Wyhndham Clark. Wyhndham Clark. This is my hot take from the week. Has a top 3 country club name. You've got Wyhndham Clark, Hudson Swafford, and Chesson Hadley. Those 3. You know who I want to hear talk about those guys all the time? The guy from Family Guy. What's his deal? What didn't he have a huge chin?
Yeah,
at one
I'm
too?
bottom tooth.
Yeah.
The chapstick higher.
So that's different. I'm thinking of not Big Chin, although that guy's hilarious too. Who am I thinking
Buzz
of?
Killington. Yes, yes. Do you want a clip of that?
Yes.
Okay.
What do you got?
Oh my gosh.
So, do you really think you're suited to be the 4th guy in our group, Buzz Killington?
Yeah, I mean, we mainly just sit here in the booth and crack jokes, but you're kind of a buzzkill.
Oh, on the contrary, I've quite a mastery of the humorous yarn. Do any of you know the tale of how cornmeal came to be?
No.
No?
No.
Neither did the miller when he left his house that morning.
We gotta get Joe back.
So, anyways, he goes on for a couple more times to tell you a little bit more about that. So,
Is Mr. Buzz Killington like a top 3 side character in all of Family Guy?
ooh, that's a bold statement. No, I wouldn't go that far.
I think what we might have to do is have an entire episode of the Minnesota Left-Handers podcast become the Minnesota Family Guy recap pod. You know, talk about shows that haven't been on the air in 15 years. You know, that sounds like a good way to spend an
Number
hour.
one's the chicken, the angry chicken.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is true. That guy's awesome. That fight scene that lasts like for an entire episode.
Yeah, it's unreal. But back to Wyhndham Clark.
Yes, Wyhndham Clark. He kind of ran away with it a little bit. When I tuned in on Saturday and there was like 13 guys tied at 8 under, and Max Homo was one of them, who I'd picked, and I think you'd picked him too. But we talked about like he won at Quail Hollow, and then he won this event and like he won in 19, and then he won this event in 22 because he's the defending champ, and he had a 4-0 record at Quail Hollow. Like it just in the President's Cup, it just started to feel like we were going to have to talk about him as one of the great like player at an individual course sort of records. But then I started looking at that again, and Tiger Woods shows up, obviously, a bunch. At Firestone in Ohio, I think it's Dayton, Ohio, he won there 8 times at one course. Like, he won the same event 8 times. Like, while it was happening, I'm not sure that we appreciated how dominant Tiger actually was. You know, as you start to look at Max Homa being fairly dominant here, and he ended up like top 10ing or something, but
Move on from
nobody was Tiger Woods. It was insane. But anyway, that didn't happen. Wyndham Clark was started the day on Sunday with like a 4-shot lead and kind of let the field come back in, and then ended up slamming the door. He talked about that a little bit in his post-game press conference.
Do you want me to play that clip?
Yeah, just about his mental acuity, I suppose, how his mental game has changed over the last couple of years.
Certain holes, and then other ones be aggressive. And, you know, for instance, like on 14, we laid up again, and, you know, people might question that play with my distance, but I hit a cut and the wind is off the left, and I felt like it's either going to go way right or I have to start it over the lake and I could bring in a bogey. And so things like that where we were conservative, but then I took advantage and hit great shots, and, you know, I made birdie on that hole and then the par 5. So I didn't let Xander get back into it to the best of my ability.
Rex and then Cam.
Wyndham, congratulations.
Yeah, so he goes on to talk about like kind of his strategy, his shots, his plays, and stuff like that. Seems like a nice guy. He's got a sweaty hat. I like that. Means he was out there working.
I noticed that too. We don't see that much. It's like they give him a fresh one for the press conference.
Yeah,
or something.
dude, this guy's a G.
Minnesota connection. His caddy, John Ellis, lives in Minnesota. Like, makes his home in Minnesota. I think he's Californian, and then he went to Oregon. He coached at Oregon, and then he moved here and like lived here. Like, if you look at some of the names of guys or women or people, athletes, actors, famous celebrities from Minnesota, it's like they were here for a minute and then left. Vince Vaughn was like born here and then he moved away. You know, Marty Fish was a famous tennis player. He was born in Edina, but then moved away. Nobody like makes their home here. Now, granted, he's just a caddy, I suppose. It's not like he's a celebrity or whatever.
Bobby
But
Zimmerman?
he's okay. But even he didn't really want to be here. Even he went to. Real question here: did he go to Rochester, New York? He might have left and gone to Rochester, New York.
You mean Rochester? Who says it like that?
What? You're right. Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know where I got that silly thought. But I think he went to New York, and it might have even been Rochester.
Worcestershire.
So that's the thing that I think I marinated my pork chops in this evening.
Worcestershire?
Worcestershire and soy sauce. It's a good recipe.
So what do we got left here as far as designated events? And just a quick note for those viewers who do not know, these are events that are special to the PGA Tour because its top players have all agreed in principle to compete in each and every one of these events to create 17 tournaments that will showcase at least 20 or 25 best players on the tour competing against each other. So what's left on that, we just had the Wells Fargo, the PGA Championship, which is a major, the M word. Then we got 3 in June, the Memorial Tournament, the U.S. Open, and the Travelers. And then only one in July, the Open Championship. Which is also a major. And then you got FedEx St. Jude's Championship, BMW Championship, and the Tour Championship, all last 3 in August. So
it's not as front-loaded as it was. I mean, you look at like February and March, there was a ton of them.
Yeah, there was 2. There was 1 January, 2 in February, 3 in March, 2 in April. Now you're going
that was
3 June, 1 July, 3 August. But what's tricky about that is the U.S. Open, the Open Championship, and the Tour Championship. No, not the U.S. Open.
Yeah, the U.S. So the PGA Championship, which is next week.
Yeah, so you got, four majors in there, which are designated events. So would you count them as a designated event? Not really, because it's a major.
No. then you look at those first couple months of the year where there were no majors up
Right.
until April,
Yep.
but they were still designated and really front loaded. So it does seem to back off, which I think is going to end up being a good thing, because if you look at the leaderboard from this past week, it was Wyndham Clark, Xander, and then like Harris English, Tyrrell Hatton, like these names that they're just not the heavy hitters that we saw earlier in the year. And the season's not even halfway. I mean, major season isn't even halfway done yet. And you got Rory doing his thing with his extra break. Scotty, I don't think played. Rahm didn't play. Spieth said, like, I was not tuned up and ready for the Masters. I've been playing too much golf. It feels like these guys are getting burned out. The designated event schedule might be losing some of its luster. I don't know if they're going to be able to peak at the right times. Maybe less golf was the better move.
Here's the thing. I got this conspiracy theory that these guys didn't make the cut intentionally to play less golf.
Let's look at the names of those who missed the cut this week. It's
Why
quite
do I
extensive,
why do I have
actually.
the AT&T Byron Nelson up here?
Because that's this upcoming week's tournament. We're going to get to that in a minute.
Why do I have I'm back.
Were you lost?
Yeah, no, I was definitely lost. I was thinking of Worcestershire, New York. And that's the major next week.
No, let me refresh your memory. We're recapping for now the Wells Fargo, and then we're going to get into the Byron Nelson.
Byron Nelson, and maybe sprinkle a little other major.
PJ and LIV. We'll get there. But look at these names that either missed the cut or didn't play or played horribly. So you have Rory McIlroy, who tied for 47th, which is poor golf. Homa top 10ing and Justin Thomas going T14. I don't know. That's fine. You know, you'd like to see those guys top the leaderboard, but I mean, obviously, like, they'll collect top 10s and top 20s, top 15s. Scotty, this must have been his week off. Same with John Rahm. But then Colin Morikawa missed the cut. Jordan Spieth missed the cut. Patrick Cantlay with a new caddy. Joe LaCava did
I don't
not.
see your boy Rickie anywhere on here. We had big talks about him.
We'll get to him. Don't you worry. And then your guy, Pearson Cootie. No, he's nobody's guy. You just mentioned him.
No, I
week,
remember.
Like, oh yeah, his
Pearson
grandpa.
Cootie is the mailman's daughter's.
Yeah.
Teacher.
No. So Rickie, of Rickie Fowler fame, is top 50 in the world now.
Woo!
Now, here's the question. Did Talor Gooch exit the top 50 in the world so Rickie Fowler could get in, even though he just won back-to-back tournaments? It seems a little flawed. So, like, we love seeing Rickie playing better, but we also know that Talor Gooch should be in the top 50 in the world, obviously. So,
correct.
Take that for what it's worth. But it is really seriously. We are going to be second only to Rickie Fowler Tracker on Twitter. Rickie Fowler Tracker ourselves, because I'm going to keep track of him all year because I like what he's doing. So there's that.
All right, moving on.
How about the Byron Nelson?
TPC Craig Ranch. The Byron Nelson. What do we got going on here? Tournament 60. What? No. 7,400 yards. 7,438.
You got the scorecard up?
Yeah.
Okay. Craig Ranch. This tournament bounced around a little bit. It was at something called Trinity Forest, I think, a couple years ago. Tony Romo tried to play and was reminded how freaking good these pros are, because Tony Romo's like a pretty good, player. And then he just got lapped by the field here in this event. So it's the pros are very good.
It was like Tiger at the Masters.
Stop it. Stop it when you talk about Tiger that way.
Tony actually could have played.
TPC Craig Ranch, though, something called KH Lee is actually going for the three-peat. He won it in 2021 and 2022. So that would be kind of neat. You know who else has done that recently? Oh, Tiger Woods. He's one of the few that have three-peated at events or at courses. So he would be joining KH Lee, that is, would be joining quite elite company. That would be kind of cool to see him, pull that off. What do you got for?
Not interested.
What do you got for?
Jordan Spieth, Hideki Matsuyama. Oh, you want to go power rankings? Okay, let's take last week's power rankings, throw those right out in window, because Jason Day was ranked number 1, didn't even make the cut. But he still cracked the top 10 in this power ranking, which I don't know why. Out on him.
I haven't seen him. I haven't seen it. I haven't looked at the power rankings. So I'm going to go through. I'm going to open up.
Well, the power rankings, as we film right now, just came out 3 hours ago.
Yes. Okay, and so here's what I'm going to do, because I haven't looked at that link yet. I tagged it or whatever, or added it, but I haven't looked at it. I know that our guy Scotty Scheffler is in the field, so he's probably number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2. I'm scrolling through the field.
Well, it's the 3-time. Come on.
Is it KH Lee?
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, that makes sense. That was gonna be my guess.
To go.
It has to be, and it would be super
Number
neat.
3, another South Korean.
Pulled that off. Sung Kang, or Sung JM, or neither. Neither, you say.
I'll give you his initials. His initials are Tom Kim.
Oh. He's actually oh no, he is South Korea. Yeah, because he played for the internationals. Yeah.
Well, I don't doubt the PGA Tour is wrong on underneath his name here. But number 4, surprisingly,
I would like to disagree. From here in my closet where I do a podcast for free.
Matt Kuchar.
Hey, all right, that guy's like 50.
No way. Okay, let's throw this whole thing out the window. Yeah, it's pretty hard to pick after you get past Scotty and KH Lee. There's probably some guys that deserve to be in the power rankings here that aren't even listed. What
about William McGirt?
Excuse me? Are you having a stroke?
I sneezed.
Did you sneeze?
Jordan Spieth is in this field. Is he top 10?
Not even top 15, bub.
What about Justin Suh?
Nope.
Oh boy, pickings are slim here.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, let me.
I don't know. I say we move on.
A little look at.
Not too much going on.
Wait,
at
what did we name?
AT&T Byron.
Did we name the top 4? Gotta be CT Pan. CT Pan's top 10.
I don't think there's
Max McGreevy
10 worth naming.
David Lipsky
5 worth naming. Scotty, KH Lee, Tom Kim, Matt Kuchar, Tom Hoagie.
Hey, can we claim him?
Jason.
I've seen the movie Fargo. Does that count as Minnesotan?
Jason Day, Adam Scott, Seamus Power. I don't know. Hideki Matsuyama.
We need to talk. About.
I'm exiting out this power ranking.
No, that's fine. We need to talk about Adam Scott for a second. Let me see if I can find the clip. Adam Scott. I don't want to tell you what happened.
Well, I'll talk a little bit. What do we got? TPC, Twin Cities, huh?
Well, I just used that link. What is TPC?
Including TPC network privileges. TPC network privileges. That's interesting. Moving on from that.
I thought that was going to be way more interesting than it was, that link, but it's super not. It's just that this is also a TPC course. Come on, let me find this link. I'm on Twitter, which is probably stupid.
Are steroids legal in golf?
I don't know. Ask Tiger Woods, man. Holy cow! Have you seen his biceps?
No, I'm just looking at a picture of Bryson DeChambeau here, and
Oh no. So we could talk about that for a second. We'll come back to Adam Scott. Remember we went through his diet on a previous episode? It was like 4 protein shakes in the morning,
right,
and then go play 9, and then eat a steak, and then have 4 more protein shakes or something.
yeah,
Look at his new look. I think the link says new look.
yeah, no, I mean in this picture he looks absolutely jacked, dude. The one where he's wearing his Puma shirt, just kind of screaming a little bit. Maybe looks a little bit on the juice. But yeah, that other one, he's super skinny in this pink polo, looking just kind of leaned out. May 1st, yeah. That's
it's really something.
He's looking lean compared to what he used to look like.
Okay, I wonder if this is gonna show it. Can I put this link in the chat? Adam Scott drove the green. He drove the green on a par 4, and then he had a putt. I mean, it was like a 160-foot putt, but he did drive the green. Can you get that link open, or is it not open?
Yes, I got it open. I don't know.
We'll have to see how this video does. I don't know.
No,
this. Okay, you're gonna have to go to.
I think this is a botched attempt. Viewers may be getting antsy.
This is not working.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not there. This is stupid. He literally putted it off the green, right?
Yeah.
From his first putt.
With his belly putter?
Past the hole, belly putter off the green. And then the camera cut to him as he's walking back, and he kind of had this quizzical look, like, how did that happen? But it was also like so indifferent, like, yeah, I putted it off the green, but who cares? Look at me. I'm Adam Scott. I look good all the time. Women want to be me. Wait, I screwed that up. Women don't want to be him. Men want to be him. Women want to be with him. They don't care that he puts it off the green. You could just tell he didn't care. It was just, I found it humorous when I watched it happen. I was like, that guy just is awesome. Adam Scott's the best. So anyway, that's all I had. I had Adam Scott putting it off the green as my shot of the week.
And then we got back to Bryson's diet here. Or what are you thinking about that? Just the 7 protein shakes?
Just this whole diet based on, and then contrasting that with his new look.
Well, dude, he went from 240 to 195 is what the article says.
That's his current weight is 195?
It says, but the naked eye, one thing jumps off the TV screen: DeChambeau's size. How about his diet? He has gone from 195 to 240.
Mm-hmm. Well, because do you have that picture of him in like the top one from the Caddy Network?
Yeah, I already moved on from the pictures of it, but yeah, I had it up there for a sec.
He just looks so much, like, honestly, like, healthier than he did when he was juicing or whatever was going on. Because that didn't even look good.
All right, moving on. You got Talor Gooch.
Yes. I would imagine you have an opinion about this. He is out of the U.S. Open. Now, that's not the PGA Championship next week. It's the major after. Why? Because the USGA changed their wording. It's so stupid. They changed the wording of who qualifies. It's like if you qualified and are eligible. And, well, he's no longer eligible to play because he, plays for LIV or whatever. So he's out of the U.S. Open. But the guy just won back-to-back events on the LIV Tour against, I mean, we don't need to do it again, but against
Right.
like some legitimate competition. Like it's a legitimized
It's
tour.
quality golf. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
quality golf. He's out of the major because of the way that they word their eligibility. Like,
But he can still break the top 50 with this next major if he has a terrific showing, which
Yes.
likely, I mean, if Liv's done anything to PGA Tour golf this year, it's just giving them the middle finger. So I think there's a high probability that Talor Gooch gives them the middle finger and really has a good showing to get into the next major, thus pushing Rickie Fowler out.
and that's what he would have to do. And don't talk. Why are you besmirching my Tiger Woods and my Rickie Fowler? You don't need to tear them down to make yourself feel better.
I mean, you're not. Yeah, tearing those guys down makes me feel so better.
Where's
so I
the
got
wording?
I got the flushing it tweet.
Yeah.
If you don't qualify via the PGA Tour, what will you do qualifying TG? Talor Gooch said nope. They obviously don't want me to play, or they wouldn't have altered the criteria to relinquish my best chance of playing. Better question: how many of the current top 60 OWGR believe I shouldn't be in the field? When do we ask the players instead of the amateur organizations? God, they're good. These LIV guys are just smart. They're just smart.
And he's not wrong. I mean, how do you not have the guy who has won 2 in a row? And for all we know, did he play at Oklahoma State? Because if he played at Oklahoma State, he probably's got some good memories of old Tulsa, Oklahoma. He might go there and play well. For all we know, he could have a three-peat heading into the PGA Championship, in which case he, again, would have to play well there because he can still get, like you were saying a minute ago, he can still get his points and qualify for the U.S. Open that way. But his world ranking and all of those pieces don't automatically qualify him for the U.S. Open. He would have to go through all the sectional qualifying and that crap to get in, which is cool. For you or me, we have that opportunity if our handicaps are low enough and whatever. But someone who's in Talor Gooch's position, should he not just be in all 4 majors?
Right. I mean, he should be, just because he's that. It's quality golf that we watch the majors to watch. You know what I mean? Like the Masters, everyone watches the Masters because of the quality of golf, the competition, everything that you get from having the best golfers in the world. So to have some sort of conspiracy to keep one of the best golfers out, would you rather watch Talor Gooch or Rickie Fowler play? I mean, I'm watching a guy that's had quality golf and won his last 2 matches in LIV versus watching Rickie Fowler suck at putting. I mean, it's just, which one do you want to watch?
I'm going to end this podcast right now.
Oh God. Okay, let's move on. Max Homa.
He was asked this question ahead of the Wells Fargo Championship. I hope the audio is okay. It's a kind of long one.
It's a minute 49 seconds.
Yeah, let's hit play on that.
Max, some questions. Want to know why do you love golf? That's a funny question. What's funny is, I think when I was
What is going on here?
Is it not playing?
Whatever link you got here.
Bane and Matt.
Should be playing.
Max, some questions. Want to know why do you love golf? That's a funny question.
Where is it? This.
What's funny is, I think when I was a kid, I truly loved golf. I'm not so sure I love golf anymore, but I love competing and getting better so much. So golf provides a platform for that.
I got it. Do you have it?
That's weird.
People ask
Yeah,
that
we're
in a different
listening.
way a lot, but like golf is a job now. So, but when I'm home and I think about like last week, like I practiced so much, and one of the members at Whisperock asked me like on Sunday, he said, you need to take a day off. But I told him, I was like, well, it's not the golf that I miss, but I want to keep getting better at something, and this is the thing I'm the best at. So this is what I'm going to work at. So I love that golf gives me an avenue to be obsessive over something, and dedicate myself towards something. So I would say now that. Back when I was a kid, I loved golf because it was a way to hang out with my friends and try to make an eagle or a birdie and then wig out for a few weeks. Now, we've done so much in the game that sadly an amazing 7-iron doesn't make me as happy as it used to, which is sad. But I don't know. I would be obsessed with something else if I didn't have this, and I'm thankful I have this because I have direction. So I do love that about what golf is giving me at the moment.
All right, let's go to Shane, and then we'll.
Dude, that's insane. What a response. That's the first time I watched that clip, and I'm honestly taken back by the fact that I kind of love it. It's not golf that he loves, it's the competition. And because he's so good at golf, or that he can be so good at golf, that's why he loves, not per se golf, but the competition of it.
And that's just what he is good at, and so that's what he is. And I posed the question on our agenda for today. It got me thinking, do you love the car business? Do I love teaching? Or is it that I like, working with kids and helping them, have a light bulb go off on some concept and suddenly they just get in, they start making connections? Are you just good at, like you've said, the whole, or maybe we'll put it this way, the guy in Phoenix, good with that slick tongue or whatever. Just you like the idea of the deal,
Right. No, that's exactly it. When you ask that, I love when people say no. Because no is just a different way to get to yes. And ultimately, it's the harder way to get to yes. So I love when people say no because it gives me a challenge like he has to get them to say yes. So, yeah, I mean, that's... Yeah, I
so
love
you're in the car business.
Mm-hmm.
But... Would you get that elsewhere? Do you see yourself doing?
I hate cars.
Something else.
I hate cars. Cars have been my whole life. I've worked on cars. I've sold parts for cars. I've painted cars. I've cleaned cars. I've just everything with cars. Sold cars. Bought cars. All of it. And I'm good at it because I'm good at that side of the psychology side of it. You know what I mean? So. Give me a toilet, I'd go sell toilets. You know what I mean? It's just if I just need some sort of structure like that to sell something. So yeah, interesting.
Right, we just kind of get into that's what it is that we like. If he could shoot a basketball, he'd go play basketball because he loves the competition. So I just thought that response was super interesting because a whole bunch of people were asked that question. A whole bunch of players were asked that question in the press conference, and it's that response that's why I like Max Homa so much, because he's thoughtful in that way. So anyway, thought that was interesting. I don't know.
If you've made it this far,
love it. Yes.
Like, subscribe, follow, comment for more content. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, we're out there. And what else you got for us, Nate?
Just the state lefties coming up in a couple of about 8 weeks, 2 months from now, July 22 and 23. If you are a lefty, if you know a lefty, pretty much anywhere. I mean, it's the Minnesota state event, but we'll take you from anywhere because we want to bring people in. It's not so much a state competition as it is a vehicle for community and camaraderie, and with the uniqueness of the lefty. So that's out there. Minnesota Left-Handers, that's mnlefthanders at gmail.com to get on the email list, get signed up. Or you can, like you were just saying, follow, subscribe at all of our social media, and connect with us that way. Also, we should also add BR Relander on Twitter. BR Relander on Twitter
for the top
because it's not
sports
just
content.
MN left-handers.
And by the way, Edmonton is down 5-1 in Game 3 right now, third period. But surprisingly enough, the Kraken are up on Dallas. Ottinger got pulled from goaltender. Florida is the dark horse of the NHL, coming in as a wild card 2, taking out Boston, and now just running through Toronto. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty interesting NHL season, as well as the NHL lottery draft was today. And I'm pretty sure it was the Ducks, then the Blue Jackets, and then the Blackhawks had the highest percentage of getting the first pick, with the Ducks having like 25% and the Blackhawks having like 10%. Guess who got the first pick?
Chicago.
It's unbelievable, dude. And you should see the stud that they're going to be able to draft. This kid is unbelievable. Cameron Barron or something like that. I forget his name. But the kid is just the next Connor McDavid, the next Sidney Crosby, the next, I mean, it's no wonder the Blackhawks got it. But, yeah, as always, hit him far, hit him straight. We'll see you next time.